All right, so what I'm going to do really is try to make this app sort of read my Gmails. I want to be able to delete my Gmails, and I need an app that can sort of enable me to do that. So that's the starting for this app. So I've named it email manager. The only thing I've done now is click on that Java with Maven, FXML, JavaFX, Maven archetype. Next, give it a name and finish. And that's exactly what I've done. The only other thing I've done is to delete the module info. I just don't need the complexity that comes there for now. So I've done that here, so I'm just going to delete that. That's what this project currently is. Delete the file as well, and let that go off. Next thing that I want to do is to come down here. So delete this. I don't want to have to deal with that. Primary controller, comment that out. Come to app, and that's the main function. So I'm just going to bring that down, and let's see if it still runs over that. So it still runs, but when I click on this, it's sort of expected to give a kind of bug, but it doesn't, so I'll just stop it. What I want to do is tie some calls to this to actually pull certain things from my Gmail. So I'm just going to name this app controller refactor. So I'm going to stop, then right click refactor. So please wait, it's scanning. Okay, just going to leave that out. Leave that happening down there, but as long as it runs, so I'm just going to right click on this and create a new package services. And within that, I'm going to create a new Java class mail service. And within here, we have a resources folder where we should drop the, that's where the XML, I'll just delete the secondary one, because it's no longer used. The primary one is used by the primary controller. If I open the XML, so it opens in SimBuilder app. I don't want it to open in SimBuilder app, so I'll just right click and click on edit. Then I'll see that it's called the primary controller here. If I rename that to app controller, it's stopped now. So if I try to rename that to app controller, refactor, yes, it allows me now, name it to app controller, factor. Now I need to change this app controller as well. So when I save now and run, I choose the screen fill. Give me a few minutes, loads. So I'm just going to remove that button. Leave the primary view. So that will be on the primary XML. Okay, so I have it there. It's going to this line. Oh well, I'm going to leave this line because we need a button. Actually, we just need to change this to full Gmail, full inbox, Gmail inbox. So I'm just going to copy that and go down to app controller and name this full Gmail. And obviously, when I come back here, it'll be acceptable. I'm just going to put Gmail inbox here, Gmail account. Save that. Run this again, let's see. It runs adequately. And it still runs, so you have Gmail account switch to. So I'm just going to change that to Gmail. inbox, email, inbox. And already I think you already know it's going to just show that exactly. So let's look at how to sort of bring in the interaction with Gmail. So most of this I'm just going to copy and paste code really. Because even if you go to Chat GPT, you get some of this, but I've gone through some of Google's documentation as well. I've sort of a few things that this app would require in terms of following services on Google App Engine. So I'm just going to open a page on Visual Studio Code side, drag in some code I've written in the past. I'll see how that translates into this. Now, ideally, there's a credentials of JSON file, and it's to be created generated from uh, Google. I've sort of generated that. I'm just going to drag that into this resources folder, and you should see that popping up here. So it comes under the resources folder. So this, for instance, right click on the edit, uses the path to get to that app controller. But I'm just putting the credentials directly on the resources. And you should have it as well on the resources here, credentials. So it's using a default package. Don't worry about the default package. Let's see if you drag it to here. See if you can actually access it from there. So save, don't run again, test if it runs. Yeah, it still loads. So that's what load about. So next is to deal with this class. I'm just going to copy this over from something I've written past before. Yeah. You will be able to access this on GitHub, so don't worry about it. So most of this stuff actually based on items we need to add into home. So I'll need to sort of copy, depending on home. Take a while to get sorted, so I have to take it down. I'll paste dependencies here. If I have a duplicate, no duplicates, save and right click on project and deal with dependencies. So ultimately it's going to download all dependencies. Some of this include JavaFX controls. That's already done. You can start with that. So there's com.google.api client, com.google.apis, that's for Gmail, and Google Client Jetty, which helps with authenticating the user that uses the app. Google Library O2 as well. Google Mail API uses certain classes from the Mail library, email library. JavaFX controls, I think we've already done that up here. I could remove that duplicate. JavaFX FXML, also yes, so I could remove this last two. I just save and sort of file rebuild with dependencies again. And that's fine. So if I run this, just to be sure that it will be fine, and it's still fine. So now that we have this class here, we have this file here, we're going to Gmail service in the class. So I'm putting several items here. There is there if you start starting variables there, application name, Gmail API quick start, which you'll get from Google page. I'll just get that open. So Google API email. Also, there was an error earlier. Not found. API review. And so there are a few things here that could guide you, overview, IMAP or not. So what would before is Gmail, notification authorization, choosing scopes. So these are some of the stuff you need to sort of read through to understand how this APIs work. Or really, the essence for having the Maven dependencies is that you get to download some code that automatically help you do stuff like this create draft. You don't actually have to make those calls. And here you can see sample code actually. So you'll see from here various options, examples for how to create draft emails and examples for how to send an email. You have to come here and do some review of this and sort of add this into some of your code as well. Upload attachments, manage mailboxes. You won't delete mailboxes and stuff. Manage settings, and ultimately all these are based on the authentication. What sort of authentication you have. So essentially, the user that uses your app needs to sort of grant access to your app as well. So let's go back to that's developers.google.com/gmail API reference, and I think if I go to overview, yeah, so that takes you straight to the Google API new documentation. Then you get to this point where you do this. So back to this code. So generally, all these codes sort of pull from there. Importantly, look at this line, pulling this directly from the resources folder. That was a problem for me at the start. So I'm just going to put a breakpoint here, see that I don't have any problems. So this eventually gets the credentials. So stuff makes the user log in. The app has access to the user's account. This gets the service, the Gmail service that actually interacts with various Gmail APIs, and then you can send messages, create an email, list emails process. So I've named that because it sort of goes beyond just listing emails. It just processes emails, gets the subject and from email, and then prints them out here. And then this deletes the email. This was actually the driver for creating this because I have about 25,000 different emails in my Gmail, and I don't know exactly how I could do that. Delete some of them manually. I need to go through a process of actually going through titles, subjects, filtering them out, and then deleting those emails that fall under this filtered subject. So again, let's run this just to make sure that it's running fine. It looks all right. That button should work yet. So close that. Now, next thing we want to do is go into the app and sort of, for now, we sort of comment this out because we don't want to, we're not really interested in interface yet. We're going to build the interface, but for now, we don't need the interface yet. I just want to run the code to actually print out the subjects in my email. So what I'll do now is I'll create a method which says emails, and just alt enter and create method below. So it prints up here, and I want to bring it down here, paste it here, and I'm going to implement this. Just go paste some code in here, and the code will be calling the other part of Gmail service. Hopefully, this is a try catch. I'm going to import the Gmail service and then import Gmail. So what we could do now, this simple line of code basically just does itself, sends tries to query for emails in my inbox. And so what we need to do now is test. I'm going to just put a breakpoint here and save. And once again, let's run this application. That's the goal. It's going to stop at this stage. And what this basically does at this line is just get to Gmail service. And the next important thing is for it to get the service. So let's follow that code into that point. So it goes down, gets a new trusted transport, and creates gets the credentials next line. So that now depends on the credentials file which I've gotten from Google. Gmail App Engine. So it reads that file. It can't access the file now because of the location of the file, I assume. I'm just going to stop this and go straight into files, then resources, and bring this file straight from the resources. Save. I think that should be the problem. So if I run again, so we already have a breakpoint here, so I can just play up to this point. It's still going to stop on other breakpoints. So I'm just going to put a breakpoint here. So then just play on. Hold this breakpoint. Hold this breakpoint as well. Play. It gets here, and then all I do next is to go to the next line, and this time it finds a file, so it's able to read the file. And then next thing, it goes down, roots into a file into a stream, and tries to load the file, the line secret, and then tries to get authorization flow. This is the point I think it gets to ask you for your login. So I'm just going to put a breakpoint here. We'll make it play on. So it seems, I'm not sure what it's done there, but it's sort of gone through that stage and moves to the local server receiver. Move to the next line and go down to the. So what it's done now is to request for me to log in. I'll click on that, and Google hasn't verified its app. I'll continue. And Google Gmail Manager wants access to Google account. I'll click continue. And when I go back to the app, it's gotten through that stage of authentication. Then go back down, and it's going to return the Gmail service. I'll go back up to the point where it does that. So now it's been successful. We received the service. I'm now going to go into the list email process, and this does a query on read emails. Get the 10 best unread emails, and then get messages. If message is null, that means message is not null. If I go there, you see that it got 10 messages from my email. And then this section of the code now does, so gets users message get me message, I get ID execute, gets the detailed message for each message basically. So it gets about 8 different variables for the message. But there's sort of stuff that describe the message title as well. So I'll go further down, and this message part header basically gets the headers. So I'll just put a breakpoint here and come down to output, play on, and you see that it's printed out the subject spotlight on new ankle boots, and it's saying from clarks@email.clarks.com. Play again. Enter the next subject. Get ready for a very special Sunday at Lakewood. The Austin Ministries, no reply. And obviously it's going to keep playing on like that just for the gameplay. Next one. Then success spotlight, social award. So basically that's how it runs. So in the next video that I'm going to share on this, I'm going to work on building a UI to actually load all these details on the front end of the app. So in other words, if I come back here, all I have to do is I'll comment this and then we can do that. But this is actually the bit that I've looked at today to actually get access to email service and print out the emails, the subjects, and the from accounts of those emails. So see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to continue with me on this journey, and then we'll get to see where we get to. Cheers and bye.